Hello, greetings and salutations, friends, and welcome to a little bit more development with Mr. Adrian, or Fraggle. And I'm working on my project a bit more. I've just actually imported it into Unreal Engine 4.16 or 4.16 from 15. And it took a little bit of finagling, but I also loaded in my height blended map. All the texturing is handled automatically for me by this funky height blend function that I've got open here, and I'll go over that later. I actually have to refresh my memory. I actually took a break from developing this. I found that between working on the textures and playing with different techniques with other stuff in the background, inventory management and stuff like that, I was starting to get a little bit burnt out in what I was doing, and rather than forcing myself to continue and not having that drive and that self-motivated that passion behind the project, I knew if I continued the way I was going, it wouldn't come out the way I actually wanted it to. And 6 months from now, I'd realize that I've just been working on this piece of poo that I knew I could do better, and it would just go wrong. So I took a break. I've done some other things. I've played with some other games like 7 Days to Die and stuff like that. And I've come up with a couple of other ideas for other games that I may or may not develop. One of them is a survival space game in which our player is trapped on a space station that has suffered a catastrophic failure and has lost a lot of resources, lost a lot of oxygen, it's lost carbon dioxide scrubbers, and solar panels have been damaged and ripped off and things like that. And the idea is the guy, initially you have to get the onboard computer running so you can interact with the environment around you, and you can then start interacting with the other satellites that are also in orbit around the planet X or whatever, and you have to adjust their trajectory so they get close enough to you so you can spacewalk between the two, because you don't want to miss. Because if you miss, you ain't coming back. So there's going to be some orbital mechanics involved in this thing and all kinds of, it's going to be, the idea on paper is quite interesting. Whether it gets any further than paper, who knows. And then the other one is kind of like, you take the idea of The Sims, a character that you can order around, but is also somewhat, or autonomous in the way they work. And it's set on a desert island, and it's a kind of a cartoonistic, not top down, but isometric kind of view. 3-dimensional, so you can rotate the camera around. But you tell the guy or girl, depending, what you want him to do, and depending on his needs and current status, he will either do them or he will go off and do something else. Like if you tell him to go build something when he's starving to death, he's probably, well, the idea is he's actually going to say something rude to you and then go off and look for food. So it becomes you are trying to manage a person who has their own desires. I'm also going to try and get into the whole waste thing too. You've got this dude on a desert island. He's going to need to take care of some biological functions that you're also going to have to manage. So I think that could actually come out as a very comical survival system, I believe, if I do it, if it's done right. Not if I do it, if somebody does it right, or if I end up doing that after this. Who knows what the future holds. Anyway, for the moment, I've got this lot, right? You remember my old project. This is now brought into 4.16, and for the most part it looked okay. When it came in, it was hideous. It was black. I actually had to remember how to apply the texture to the landscape. I had to delete everything I had painted and done before and start from scratch. But the good thing is, this is only 4 layers. It's the bottom layer, do not use. Then my height blended matte, which is this monstrosity over here, then the scree texture, which I absolutely hate, and then the stone height blend, which isn't working for some reason, and I have to figure out why. Anyway, for the minute, I have been going through this, and I've been adjusting the parameters to try and get the amount of rock face showing to, you know, to where I like it, and I think it's actually looking nice now. I like the amount of rock that's showing, especially up here. But what I don't like is this strata that's going on here, so I need to adjust that. So what I want to do, hang on, tiling, specular, strata tiling. I don't know if I can get that any lower. Let's take that down to 0.1. See where we end up. That's a little better. Down here it's a little hideous, but up there it looks a little better. Okay, let's take that up to 0.3. See, that's... Down here, it looks meh. There, it looks hideous. So let's go back down to 0.1, like that. And then its visibility, this is its alpha channel. Let's take that down to 0.25 and see what we got. Ha ha ha. See, now that looks a little better. Even down here, that looks better. I think I'm going to leave it there. The only problem is, I go over here. You know what? Let me bake this in. Alright, so that's now baked in and ready to go. Let's close that out. And we'll take this back up to 7. And we'll go all the way over here, and for some reason over here the textures are sideways, and over there they're not. Well, I know why. It's because it's oriented that way. What I probably need to do is set it up so... Oh no, I can't do that because then it's going to look weird. What I was thinking is if I did it like on face, put the orientation on face, it's going to be an issue. But I think I'm going to need to do that anyway, actually. But let's jump into game mode and see how it looks at the moment. Alright. So that's not bad, actually. That's not bad at all. I need to play with my scree texture or my little rock textures, because they're a bit poopy at the moment. They look rather crap, but ooh, that texture looks really nice, actually. It does look like some nice dry grass. If I get some weeds up in there, that's going to look really nice. There. See, there you can see the pebbles that I've been trying to play with. What I need to do is make them, I think I need to make them smaller. And for some reason the height blending is not working, so I need to figure out why that's occurred. But otherwise, it's, you know, it's coming together. It's coming together. The grass is looking nice. I think, yeah, the next step is just tidy up these textures a little bit. In here, it's not bad. Again, I don't know if I really want to deal with a... Yes, I do. I'll say I don't know if I want to deal with a forest floor texture, but yeah, it's gonna need it. That looks a little bit weird. So yeah, I'll bring that back in again. The nettles are looking good. The weeds are looking good. I like those. Those look awesome from a distance. Actually, they don't look too bad close up either. The bluebells look great. The elephant ears are looking good. Oh, they look really nice, actually. I forgot about that. Yeah, I'm pleased with those. Yeah, the mountains from a distance, the hills from a distance look really nice. The blending looks really nice. There's a little bit of a repetitive pattern in the texturing. But you know what? I can live with that. It's going to get covered up by foliage and rocks and stuff. So, you know, that I'm fine with. I can live with that. the next thing I want to do is the day transitions. Actually, well, I've got a huge list of stuff I want to try and accomplish. Like, you know, day-night cycle. I've got to do the skybox weathers. You know, I want to get a weather system going on so it can change from nice, bright, shiny, sunny day. Oh, whoops. Nice, bright, shiny day like this and turn into a nice, stormy, cloudy day and a foggy day and all kinds of stuff. And I want to get the sea to react accordingly to that. Yeah, still got lots to do, but I've managed to get it into 16, which was my my goal for today, and I've managed to get the textures kind of sort of fixed. I'm kind of digging where the textures are sitting at the moment. Like I said, just a little bit of tidying up here and there, and then I need to get the stone blend working. But yeah, that's not bad, and this is applied to like the entire thing in one shot, you know. So I don't know why that's looking like that over here. I think I need to rebuild the lighting, to be honest. Anyway, that's it for whoops, that's it for the minute. Yeah, not a great deal of progress, but it's getting there, you know. Little bits of progress here and there is still progress, right? Right. Anyway, so until next time, I will see you anon.